Historically, technology just sped up our physical labor. A tractor pulls harder, a computer calculates faster. But modern artificial intelligence has a different quality: autonomy. You can give a machine a complex job, provide no instructions on how to do it, and it will figure it out. We are watching algorithms write thousands of lines of code, analyze millions of rows of consumer data in seconds, and draft persuasive copy. The cognitive heavy lifting that used to require a team of professionals can now be triggered by a single prompt. Yet, this introduces a paradox for modern entrepreneurs. They are spinning up AI agents, automating their daily workflows, and clearing their entire task list, only to watch their revenue remain stagnant. Look at this scale. The trap is mistaking execution efficiency for actual value creation. Doing low-value tasks at the speed of light does not add money to your bank account. Execution has become cheap and infinite. When execution is no longer the constraint, the value of the business shifts back to the person deciding what to execute and why. This chart maps the evolution of leverage, the tools that multiply human effort. For centuries, we used labor and capital. In the digital age, we added media and code. AI adds a new layer to this hierarchy, allowing a single person to scale their ideas with a speed that labor and capital cannot match. But a multiplier still requires a base input, and there is one input AI cannot provide. A machine cannot put its own skin in the game. It cannot assume risk, and it cannot own the responsibility or consequence of a failure. The investor Howard Marks pointed out a specific blind spot in machine intelligence. An AI trains by reading, remembering, and recognizing patterns from the past. It makes its decisions based entirely on historical data. But the most significant financial opportunities occur during structural shifts, where there is zero historical precedent to draw from. Markets do not always repeat the past. Because a machine is mathematically confined to optimizing known pasts, it freezes when the data runs out. Financial reward is reserved for the entity willing to bear the risk of an unknown future. Take September 15, 2008. The investment bank Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy, triggering a global financial freeze. Institutions were locking up, and leading experts believed the global financial system was actively atomizing. In that moment, there was no pattern recognition to fall back on. A global financial meltdown of this scale had never been recorded. The data required to make a safe, analytical decision did not exist. Facing this void, Howard Marks and his team at Oaktree Capital could not run a predictive model. They were stripped of their analytical tools and forced to navigate the dark using supposition. They reasoned that if the financial world actually melted down, any investments they made would not matter anyway. But if the world survived, and they sat on their cash out of fear, they would have failed at their jobs. Operating under absolute terror and immense uncertainty, they made their move. Over the next 15 weeks, they bought an average of $450 million in distressed debt every single week, deploying $7 billion in a single quarter. The Oaktree results illustrate that acting without a historical pattern generates a return that no algorithm could calculate. This macro lesson applies to every individual entrepreneur stuck in optimizer paralysis. Those waiting for the perfect AI tool or flawless data before taking a swing. Optimization has a limit. If you delay execution until you have 100% certainty and nothing left to fear, the opportunity has already passed. We hesitate because humans have fragile egos. We fear the embarrassment of a public mistake or social judgment. A machine doesn't care if it looks foolish, but we are wired to avoid that pain. During the 2008 crash, Marks realized that failure was a choice between two risks: the risk of looking foolish and the risk of being derelict. For most of us, the fear of failure is simply the fear of social judgment. We treat failure as an identity death, when the actual worst-case scenario is simply returning to your baseline to try again. We lean on algorithms to do our work, while letting our emotional fear dictate our choices. To use these machines effectively, we must separate our personal identity from our financial outcomes. As machines take over the optimization of the known, the human role shifts toward the courage to step into the unknown.